Think you can't write a book? Watch this. Have you been struggling to write a book? Or have you thought to write a book, but anytime you started, you just gave up because it was very difficult? I found myself in that situation many times. If you don't have a proper framework, you will get yourself stuck like Jack in a pickup truck, where I found myself before. It took me about 2 years to write my first book, 100K Secrets, and I made a lot of mistakes. I spent money, resources, time for close to 2 years. I was just making mistakes after mistakes. Why? I didn't know a clear-cut framework to write my book. So in this video, I'm going to be teaching you exactly the pitfalls you should avoid so that you can quickly write your book. Rather than it taking you 2 years like it took me, this can take you between 2 months to 2 weeks, depending on how quickly you work. Let's dive right into the video. Think you can't write a book? Watch this. The first mistake people make is they have this misconception. Their misconception is you have to be great at writing, you have to be very good with words. But one of the things I've realized is that a lot of people have written books that are actually not great at writing. The most important thing is overcome this misconception, because anytime you try to have or start certain things, you always have ideas in your head to tell you you're not qualified. Who are you? There are writers like Paulo Coelho. There are all these amazing people. So anytime you try something for the first time, your brain is going to tell you can't do it. Be very careful. That misconception that you have to be a great writer is the lie. You don't. You just have to get started and overcome that hump. 2, documentation. So if you want to write a book, one of the things that you should do is you should document anything that you come across that you find useful. One of the things that I started to do is I started to document. When I'm doing consultations, I'll document. When I'm doing even these lives, I'll document it. When I'm doing classes, I'll document it. When I listen to something, I get a good idea from it, I write it in my own words to find out how can I remember it. Write as much as you can, because it's going to be a resource for you to go back and draw from. 3, transformation. So when you start to document, every single person, they have learned something that has benefited them. Maybe you have a tactic that you use to be able to read quickly. Maybe you've built a business and helped people to make 6, 7, 8 figures. Maybe you're a very good soccer player and you teach people how to be able to score more goals with the ball. Whatever it is, make sure that when you're writing a book, you have a form of transformation you're going to give to whoever is reading it. Because if you're the type of person that you just want to tell your story, oh, my name is, let's say, Kevin, and I want to tell people about my story, they are not interested unless it benefits them. And a lot of people spend their time trying to write. They think that, oh, their story, unless you have a very interesting story that you've gone through peaks and valleys and you overcame the odds, then people want to listen. People want transformation, to be able to say, this person can take me from A to Z, from 1 to 10. And it doesn't have to be a big transformation. It can be a small transformation. You can teach people how to be more creative and draw, how to decorate their houses, how to market online, how to help people with customer service. Whatever it is, make sure you have a little bit of some transformation or track record that you can actually share with people, because this is where you get the title of the book from. 4 is implementation. So 4 is one of the most important, and I have another important one that you don't want to miss. So implementation, what happens here is it's a framework. What do you do now that you have overcome your misconceptions, documentation, transformation? You should use this framework, and the framework is called IDEAS. 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 Why IDEAS? To write your book, the layout should be first one is identify any limiting beliefs that have been holding you back. So let's say, for instance, right, you wanted to create like a planner, right? And you had some limiting beliefs that told you that you couldn't create it, or it's going to be expensive, or you wanted to, learn how to play soccer. So the journey you took, the first step is always overcoming a limiting belief that you have. All of us, we have limiting beliefs that we had to overcome to get to where we are right now. And we still have limiting beliefs we are dealing with. So your goal, your work is to be able to first step in your book, your sketch, your layout, just write this down. Don't forget this. These are the main points that you're going to be using in your book. First one is identify limiting beliefs that are holding you back. That's the I. D, develop a strategy to move yourself forward. What is holding you back? Let's say somebody said they want a job. And for instance, let's say if I speak to her, let's say 3 months, 6 months from now, and she goes like, oh man, I landed a multiple 6-figure job with Microsoft. And everybody is like, wow, how did you do that? Then she say, you know what, rather than just telling people, because so many people are asking me, I'm going to write a book. And the first step is I identify the limiting beliefs that are holding me back. Second step is D, I develop a strategy to move forward. E, is establish. So how did you establish yourself? How did you get your foot through the door? Did you walk into their office? Did you network? How did you establish yourself? And A is, I'm doing the ideas acronym. A is, how did you advertise yourself to be more visible for this opportunity to come? S is, how did you scale from where you are to where you want to go to? So for instance, my book, 100K Secrets, IDEAS, that is the framework of the book. Each step, the first one for I, what I did is I identified limiting beliefs that were holding me back. So anything that was holding me back in the past, I wrote 3. Identify limiting beliefs, 3 of them. Develop a strategy, 3 of them. Establish the business, 3 of them. Advertise, 3 of them. And scale, 3 of them. The reason this framework works is anybody, if you're looking to create anything, you have this IDEAS framework. It's going to help you to be able to start writing more easily, because all of us can come up with 3 things that are holding us back. All of us can come up with 3 things that we can develop to move our life forward. So for instance, the lady who says she wants to get a job, one of the things she can move her life forward is what? She can start prepping up her CV. She can start going to places that people are recruiting. She can start reaching out to her friends and her networks to figure out who is hiring. So she's developing all these different steps through the ideas framework. Because once she establishes herself and once she puts herself in a way that she can advertise and scale, then she lands the job she wants. Then she can come up to say, these are the 5-step process I used to be able to land that job. The same process to write a book, the same process to build a business. This is my framework. It's something I came up with. I remember the day I came up with the framework, I was jumping all around my office. I was so excited because I was in this place that was stuck. I didn't know how to go about the book. So it's just, man, should I write this? Should I tell them about this story? Should I tell them about that story? But if you have a transformation you're going to give to people, the implementation is the ideas framework. I just wanted to stay here for a second so you get that. Next is experimentation. You guys know what I'm writing. Experimentation. This is where a lot of people get it wrong. What they usually do is, as soon as they get a framework for their book, they just run and it's like, I need to get an editor. I need to get all these different people. I need to write. Don't make that mistake. We're in 2025. Don't make that mistake. What I really recommend that you should do is, once you've gotten the framework for the ideas, go and create yourself a simple landing page, or hire a professional to create you a simple landing page, and go on social media, right? And figure out how many people will be interested in the topic you're looking to write about. This will save you so much. You put in a poll on your stories, you put in a poll on your post, talk about the topic and ask how many people are interested in the topic. So for instance, when I was writing my book, let me grab the book so that you guys can see. When I was writing this, I remember that I came on social media, scrolled down to my Instagram page and scrolled down to August 22nd. That was my birthday. It was a planner, right? Like this. And I wrapped it with a paper that said 100K online business. I think so. It wasn't even this title, it was slightly different. I held it and I told people that, hey, I'm writing a book. How many people are interested? And rather than me just creating a waiting list, what I did is I created an option for people to pre-order. Oh my goodness, I was surprised because you see, the thing about birthdays is we get a lot of traffic on our birthdays. If your post is not getting engagement, like a lot of us, our posts don't get engagement these days. One of the best times to launch is your birthday. If you choose to launch on your birthday, more people are going to see it. So rather than you waiting on the D-Day and telling people buy my book, what you want to do is you want to do a countdown towards that day. And it's like, hey, I have some announcement, meet me here on this day, and let people opt in and put them on an email sequence. And on the D-Day, you show up and you tell them that, hey, you either have a waiting list of people who are interested. This is just to test so that you don't waste money. This is just to test so you don't waste money. Rather than you just spending a ton of money and finding out people are not interested, find a way to opt people in and get people's interest before you proceed to go and write the book. So experimentation, go on social media, opt in and get people's interest. Next, facilitation. Facilitation. So this is where the work really happens. Now that you've gotten interest, let's say your goal was to get 100 people on social media who said they were interested in your book. And those people, maybe some of them even pre-orders like, man, I'm really interested in this topic, whether it's learning how to code, whether it's like landing your dream job or starting an online business. Now you have your dream 100 people, 500 people, whatever your number is. What I recommend that you should do next is the 3 Ds. You take the notes from the draft and you first work a little bit on the notes, have stories amongst the 5 different steps I mentioned for the ideas, add stories to it. What stories make sense to all these different sections, the IDEAS. Make sure that you take it from the notes, and the next thing is you want to take it to ChatGTP and just put it on there and say, hey, clean it up for me. Take out the typos, take out the mistakes I've made. Do not use ChatGTP to write it. It will sound so robotic. People will not be able to read it. It will be too robotic. What I recommend is get ChatGTP to clean it up for you. Just clean it up. Once ChatGTP cleans up the framework of your book, the next step is you want to be able to go to a website. It's called Hemingway. If you can write this down, it's called Hemingway.com. It teaches you how to write 5th grade level. Why this is important? Most people read in 5th grade level. Me personally, I don't like reading. If the book is too complicated or difficult, I'm not going to read it. So like, if you are going to be writing, make sure that you're writing in a very plain, simple language. Don't be one of those people that you are going to be putting big words and confuse people, saying things like supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, like these big words that nobody understand. When people are confused, they leave. So your goal is to make things very simple that a 5-year-old can read what you are saying and understand what you are saying. Don't try and be like those people that you want to tell people that you know all the words in the world. Keep it for your big announcement or your family members. Don't be putting it everywhere. So facilitation. For these, first D, take it from the notes or the Word documents, clean it up, put it in ChatGTP next. After that, put it in Hemingway. After Hemingway, then you want to go on a platform called Fiverr.com. You go on Fiverr.com, it's Fiverr, and go and hire a copywriter. There are so many different platforms. There's Fiverr, there's Upwork, there's all these different platforms. Go there and hire yourself a copywriter. My mistake is I kept on hiring people just because Fiverr said we're good, but I didn't find people who align with my vision. If you're writing a book about business, make sure you find people who write about business. If you're writing a book about romance, make sure you get somebody who writes books about romance, because their writing style is very different. Their goal is not for them to write the whole thing for you. The goal is for them to go in and take it and actually add more juice to the story. Let it be more nice to read. So story arc usually happens like starts from a very low point. If you look at a lot of my videos, I'll start from a low point, like you're struggling to do this, then this is what happened to me, and this is what I did, and now this is what happened. So they take you through a story arc. If you watch any movie, you see that it's the same sequence. At the beginning, something happened, explosion happened, boom, then the terrorists come, they shoot all around. I'm getting very dramatic over here. But all of a sudden, at the end of the movie, the hero comes and he saves the day. It's part of the story. It helps you to make it more interesting than it being in plain language. After you've done facilitation, the next step is publication. So the next step is publication. How do you publish it is, I really recommend you to do this, and I nearly made a mistake when it came to this. Did you know that Amazon, they publish books, they distributed it. This book was published. It's not like we wrote a book and we sent it to Amazon to be shipped. No. Amazon, they take the PDF that you have, they print it, they distribute it, they handle returns and everything that has to do with the book. So you do not have to do anything when you work with Amazon if you decide to go that route. The reason we chose Amazon route, so we have two routes. One is we have a personal website that people can go and buy the book from. Then there's the Amazon route. There are certain people, if they do not know who you are, if you ask them to bring out a credit card and buy from a website they don't know, they're not likely to do it. But they are more familiar with pages like Amazon. So you get more visibility over there. And some way, somehow, once you start ranking out, getting reviews on there, Amazon will start boosting your ranking on there. So please, as much as you can, save yourself a lot of headache. If you decide to sell it by yourself, you have to have a strong back end of being able to gather a group of people and drive traffic to a page that most people don't know. I did a lot of pre-orders for my book through my website. We created a website through Barrage and we're directing traffic there. However, most of the people that came for that have been following me on social media. They've come across my content for a while. So like they kind of trust. But a total stranger is always going to be, who is this person? So that is my 2 cents. Publication, public or Amazon. Amazon is going to distribute it and send it to the right people for you. The next one is remuneration. Remuneration. It's a handful of words. You know what I'm talking about, remuneration. So how do you get paid? You need to connect your bank account to Amazon and Amazon is going to pay you. Now, don't wait a craziest thing happened to us. We thought, oh, we've uploaded this to Amazon, we've connected our bank accounts, let's launch the book. Only for us to realize that Amazon took about maybe 48 hours to even 3 days or even sometimes more to verify the payments that we put on there. When you connect your bank account, do not start telling people, go and buy it live. No. What you want to do is you want to test it. You want to make sure that you buy the book yourself, you receive it, you check it. Do not go and be telling people to buy yet. Make sure you check it out before you send people to Amazon. Next is promotion. So you need to be able to start, once you test it and you put it out there and you've tested the page, the next step is you want to be able to start promoting to people, to tell them, hey, my book is coming out soon. That's when you have a launch date. Don't wait. This is when you actually have a launch date. So the book is actually live, but there are means and ways you can hide it on Amazon so people don't see. So you want to be able to start promoting. And where do you promote it? You promote it on social media. You start putting it out. The people who first told you they're interested, you start sending them emails. You start whetting their appetite. You start sending them specials and freebies. The people who came for my book launch, they got few things just for being the people who actually came for the book launch. So incentivize people for them taking action to be the first movers when you're doing certain things. It encourages them to be able to be a part of things you're doing in the future. And the last one is, guess what? Drum roll. The last one is congratulations. So the last one is, now you've had the book and now you've had all these different things. You want to have a launch. You can have either a virtual launch or you can have a physical launch. I prefer virtual almost everything. You know why? Certain people, it allows them in different countries to be able to join. When you are sometimes doing things in person, what usually happens is it's limited by location. So let's say if I'm doing the launch in Prince William County and you're not here, you can't be a part of it. So if you can do both physical launch and virtual launch. Let me put this down and go over the steps. So these are the steps. Step 1 is misconception. Most people think that you have to be an expert to write a book. Not true. Second is documentation. Document and capture everything so that you have some notes that you can start building on when you decide to write your book. 3, transformation. If you can show people before and after or a transformation you have, they believe you more. 4, implementation. Have a framework to be able to write a book. The framework I share with you is IDEAS: identify, develop, establish, advertise, and scale. Use that framework and give 3 points for each to write your book. 5, experimentation. Rather than going to write the book, go on social media, start promoting it, create a waiting list, ask people in, pre-sell it to see whether there's an interest in the topic so that you don't waste money. 6, facilitation. Take it from your notes and take it from your draft and add it to ChatGPT to clean it up for you. Don't let ChatGPT write it for you. Let it just clean it up for you. Then use Hemingway to write on the 5th grade level. Send it to a professional copywriter from Upwork, Fiverr to be able to help you to be able to clean it up once you are done. 7, publication. Print and distribution. Amazon does print and distribution, if you didn't know, so you don't have to have a printing house. This saves you money in the long term. 8, remuneration. You set up your payment so that you can receive payments. Don't wait when everything is live and people try to buy, then you can't receive your payment. Set up your payment with Amazon if you decide to go that route. 9, promotion. Use social media to start promoting it and have a countdown so that people can anticipate the book is coming. Don't wait until the book is live on that D-Day. You show up on live to say, guys, I have my book, go buy it. No, you need to be able to build it up. Curiosity. 10, congratulations. You pick a date and you launch. And this is how you launch your book. And this is how I launched this book called 100K Secrets, the 5-step blueprint to creating a 6-figure online business. Is available on Amazon. But if you like a free copy, comment blueprints below and I'll send it over to you. Here's the lesson from today. You don't need years of experience or perfection to write a book. Just a clear result to share, a structured process, and the courage to start. Guys, I hope you found this video helpful. I was just going to record it myself and I was like, you know what, let me just turn on the camera. It's very weird sometimes. You sit here and you're like, hello, my name is this, and you're talking to the camera. It's weird. It's not human. So I know a few people joined in to watch. I appreciate having you guys on here. I wasn't able to see the questions you were asking because I was far away doing this. So if you have any questions, you can drop it. If not, thank you so much for watching. I really enjoyed having you on here. Until next time, take care, stay blessed. Peace out. 8 down. Bye for now. Take care.